Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. This will be a little bit different video from some of my other previous videos on the channel, but let me say right now, this video is being shot exclusively with the DJI Pocket 3 camera. I absolutely love this camera, but we'll talk more about that later. The first thing I want to talk about in the first part of this video is dealing with the creative industry, being a creative and understanding how to either pivot or add to what you're doing in your creative offerings. Me, I'm a professional photographer. I've been a professional photographer for a little over 20 years, but I'm also a person who loves technology. So even though I'm a photographer and take still images most of the time, I'm also well versed in video. I'm pretty dangerous with audio as well. And what I found is that being able to not just be a one-trick pony with my clients helps a lot. It keeps a lot of money in-house for us, but it helps me, I believe, provide better offerings. When you start working with clients and you start moving up in tier with your clients, you're going to find out, even apart from what it is that you have to offer, clients want to be able to trust you in what I call their trusted spaces, whether that's, their homes, their offices, wherever. And so if they can work with a professional who can provide not only one services, but maybe several services, I think that actually helps you as a creative, and it helps your client as well. So the biggest thing for me is I want to share with people is don't be afraid to dabble in other things if you think that you're proficient in other genres of media. For instance, if you're a photographer but you understand video, you understand audio, don't be afraid to dabble in that. Now, I will say this, when it comes to marketing yourself, I believe if you have established your brand online as, say, again, we'll stay with the example, if you have established the brand of your business as a photography company, I think you do have to be mindful about other things that you introduce to that. I don't like the idea of having to have all of these separate identities online. You got this Instagram profile, you got that Instagram profile. I will let you know what I do. And our business, Clark Bailey, we promote that as a photography business. When it comes to the other media services offerings that we have, I actually put that under me personally. So this is where, when I established things early on years ago, when we established the business, I knew that I didn't want Clark Bailey to be my name. Actually, for those that don't know, it's named after my children, right? So I wanted it to have its own separate identity because I knew that I had other interests, and it would allow me to kind of move in those other areas when the time came. And so that's what we do now. So if you look at Clark Bailey, it's marketed as a photography company because that's what it is. But when it comes to other professional media services, I actually do that under my name as a media consultant. Just coming up this week, I had to fly to Detroit for one of my clients because we're shooting a live podcast on location. That's going to be video, that's going to be audio as well. But I'm pushing that, or I'm actually marketing that. That's going to be under me as a media consultant. So I hope that kind of helps, because I know there are a lot of people out there who probably were in the same boat as me, where it's like, okay, this is my primary discipline. However, I do have an interest, or I want to work in these other areas. How do I do that? I think you have to be careful that you really don't pollute your brand with different things to confuse your client base, excuse me. Now, in this situation, you can flip everything to a media company where it encompasses, in this case, photography, video, the whole nine. But I think you really have to look at your clientele and see where they are, how receptive to them they will be of that. Do they have a need or requirement for these additional service offerings that you want to present to them? All those, I think you have to go back and forth and see what works best for you. Don't do what I did at one point in time, but just try to dump everything into one company, because it can actually send mixed signals into the marketplace. So I do think you should maybe have a separate identity for that. And we'll talk more about that later. I think that's a little bit too much for this video. But I do want to kind of get into the Pocket 3 briefly. This is not going to be a full-on tech review or anything like that. Kind of a layman's conversation about what I think about the Pocket 3. As I mentioned earlier, I'm excited about this camera. This camera opens up a lot of doors for me, in that not only is it good enough that I can actually put this camera in production with some of my clients for certain things, of course, but this is an amazing behind the scenes camera. I've been wanting to have a camera where I could capture behind the scenes footage, either at photo shoots or wherever I'm doing. My wife's a makeup artist as well, so some behind the scenes footage of that. The reason I like this camera particularly is because this is something I can give to my kids and they can do those things for us, which is great. The quality on this camera is amazing. Right now I'm shooting in 4K 60. I'm not in auto, I am in manual, so I have kind of dialed in my ISO, I've dialed in my shutter speed and different things like that. I'm not shooting this in log. This is just a default color profile. I haven't started dialing things in like that. I've only had it a little less than a month now. But I am excited about this. I like what you see here is the face tracking. I'll just go on with it so it kind of moves around with you. Also, you can plug this camera into your computer and operate as a webcam, which is amazing. Now I use on my computer, I have a Sony a6100 that I use as my primary webcam. But you can also plug this in, and I use Ecamm as a software, and it allows you to have a 2-camera look to your live streams or whatever it is that you're recording on your computer. So it's a definite win for me. I'm going to take this on travel with me to kind of get some, again, behind the scene things or just some regular footage. I probably may even put this into production with what we're doing out of town in Detroit. You can buy ND filters for this. I haven't purchased any as of yet. I was going to order them, but I've been trying to get a lot of things in prepared for this trip, so I kind of put that off, and I'll do that at a later time. But again, the DJI Pocket 3, if you're looking for something small, portable, something with amazing quality, that's great for behind the scenes and different things like that, I definitely recommend this. In the comment section, let me know what you guys think about, not only about the Pocket 3, but what we were discussing about being a creative and working in different disciplines and how you present that in the marketplace. Until the next video, you guys take care, and I'll talk to you soon.